Hello, my name is Leota Augustine. I prefer Lee Augustine, which is the name that I have here on my KU ePortfolio presentation. Thank you for viewing and welcome. I am currently teaching kindergarten and holding a standard certificate in early education for grades pre-K through third. And here on the home tab, I have linked my resume, which lists my professional experience and academics. I have a link to coursework, which is the courses that I have completed in the Curriculum and Instruction with Reading program for the University of Kansas. The Skills tab links to the Professional Experience tab on the menu. And here I've listed my professional philosophy, my teaching philosophy, which basically states that I believe that any student can learn to read with effective instruction, and that reading is one of the most important skills that we can acquire in our lives. I've also listed my own skills here and linked my reading teacher CV. And then lastly, on this tab, I have linked my work experience, which is again my resume listing my professional experience and education. On the coursework tab, I've listed the universities that I've attended, in addition to the transcripts that are linked to the name of each university. And the standard that I have chosen to focus on is standard 1.1, and I will address that standard as a teacher for Martin Luther King Elementary, located in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, where I teach all subjects: reading, social studies, and science, which are normally inclusive of history and geography, and also math. The 2018 to 2019 school year will be the fourth year that I will have taught kindergarten at Martin Luther King Elementary School, and it's an urban school in Oklahoma City. This is a picture, or this is our Facebook page, and the picture that we're looking at is the whole school during our annual walk to the zoo. We walk to the zoo from our school every year. Our school offers a multitude of resources to our students and their families. We provide food, clothing to students, training for parents in areas such as interactive reading strategies. We work with our community to build a cooperative attitude towards motivating students and supporting their achievement. And in reference to this standard, 1.1, which is demonstrating and understanding and applying knowledge and skills specific to my area of discipline, I have chosen to focus on the artifact submitted for the course CNT 709, Foundations of Curriculum and Instruction. This artifact is the final essay submitted for this course. In this course, we analyze the theories that have influenced concepts and trends in education over time. And for this final project, I wrote an essay that compares and contrasts the educational theories of two of the philosophers that I encountered in this course. And that is what I have written in this essay that I am scrolling through here. The differences and alignments between the theories of Maria Montessori and John Dewey are the focus of this essay. And in the end, I conclude with my philosophy of curriculum and discuss how I have implemented the curriculum beliefs that I have developed following these studies. Um, both Maria Montessori's method is characterized by development of independence and freedom within limits. And then John Dewey's uh, view on education um, is asserted as a means of social reform and democracy, and characterized as the development that occurs in a student through exposure to society. Both conducted extensive research to formulate the student-centered approaches to education, which entailed preparation of environment and attendance to the individual needs of students, psychologically, physically, and also student interests. Both contrast the teacher-centered approach to traditional education in their opposition to teacher-led transmission of knowledge without differentiation and without consideration for the individual needs of the student. The idea, their ideas have helped me to develop a student-centered approach to education, which I now see as mandatory for success in today's classroom. And I have provided a lesson plan that I have planned with the guidance in a student-centered approach to instruction. This lesson plan will cover a 90-minute reading block, and each block is broken down into increments, a time frame that also includes the OKCPS, Oklahoma City Public School Standards, that each block of the reading covers. The first is the interactive read aloud, and for this portion of the reading block, the students chose to read the ebook Little Miss Muffet, and here I have the BML, which is the Benchmark Literacy Program that we use for our district has mandated. And it lists the objectives here that align with the OKCPS standards as building phonemic awareness, knowing the parts of the book and their functions, book orientation, and in addition to that, the BML objectives include comprehension strategies, giving summaries, using pictures and evidence from text. During the pre-read activities, we completed a review of the book, reading the title from left to right, counting the words. The students located the title and the author on their own. And then as we completed the picture walk and book review, we went over the text vocabulary. The students made inferences and predictions about the story, using sentence frames to communicate inference in reasoning, such as I think blank will happen because. And then during the reading, after chunks of the story were read, we would stop to allow for partners to turn and talk and discuss what would happen next. And then as we read further, we would stop to discuss whether or not the inferences or predictions were correct. Post-read discussions include continuation on the discussions of inferencing and making predictions, but also, if time allows, the students would participate in a choral read to model and practice and build reading fluency. If we didn't have time during the initial read, then we would carry that over to the next day. The interactive read aloud and comprehension component are followed by the small reading group and literacy centers, 60 minutes. The first center includes the teacher table, where the students read from leveled text, read with the teacher from leveled text. The students review the book silently, discuss the cover, print concepts, make their inferences, take turns reading the pages with the teacher, and discuss the phonics that appear on each of the pages. At the end of that read, the students complete a story review, which includes sequencing of events from the beginning to the middle of the end, and then they rate their story. During that time, the other students are completing reading and literacy center activities such as the listening center, which allows the students to listen to a book and then cut out characters and then complete the front of the character as they appear in the book and then write something about the character. The word work and sight word centers um, allow the students to practice using sight words to make sentences, identifying sight words, writing sentences from picture stories or writing sentences from stickers, and then creating sentences from magnetic sight words. Each of these centers allows for interaction that is customized to students' learning styles. They have their choice of choosing between each of these interactive centers, which address visual, oral, physical, kinesthetic learning, and also logic. Logic and learning is addressed through the Read to Someone Literacy Center, in addition to picture sorts that allow for recognition of word patterns through rhyme sorts and other sorts that address the different spellings and patterns that students encounter as they read their text. And the conclusion of the Read to Someone involves the students recording words that they have encountered in the text that are unfamiliar to them, and then bringing those words along with their text to the whole group session where we have reconvened on the carpet. During this time, the students will reread from their text or complete a dramatization from their text, retelling the story sequences or summarizing the story, and practicing the use of expression in their voices and expressing themselves as they believe the characters would have. During this time, the vocabulary that the students have noted is shared, and we discuss the meanings in addition to reading the vocabulary from the text. That's followed by the phonics instruction, which is explicit extra instruction over the phonics being studied at the time. During this lesson, it was beginning, medial, and ending sounds for letters A, E, and C. The students segmented and blended letters to complete the spellings of CVC words such as cat, bed, and dog. The reading block concludes with the writer's workshop. This is where the students write independently in response to any of the text presented during the reading block, and that can be the interactive read aloud text or text that they have encountered in any of the centers. The next steps for me would be continuing my professional development, particularly in the area of ELL instruction, so that I can support any of those students that I would have in my classroom in the future. The continuing education path that I intend to follow is special education, to learn about different reading disabilities, and also so that I would be able to teach any type of student with any type of reading disability and help them to become successful readers. And that concludes my ePortfolio presentation. Thank you so much.